Hi, I'm Lisa with OESD.
And I'm Becca with OESD.
And we're here to show you June's new releases, which is really, really shocking because I feel like we just celebrated Christmas and now we're thinking about graduations and weddings.
Yeah. Love a summer make though, so I'm really excited to see what we have.
Yay! Well, our very first thing is right here on the table. It is our freestanding chess set. I don't even know how they thought to do this. This is amazing.
Yeah.
So of course we have it in our Luxe Sparkle vinyl. We've got these gorgeous pieces. Here's a pawn that I have. And I love the king and queen.
The king and queen are beautiful and they're very big. You can see like scale wise. They're quite large. It's very impressive.
It is very impressive. And they stand up all on their own. They're not tipping over.
Yep.
Super fun.
And we also have some chess and checker pieces if you're not into the super intensity of chess.
Yeah, which checkers is a little bit more my speed. I don't always remember all the rules of how each chess piece moves. So
Yeah, it's a lot to remember.
yeah, which is a great gift for a kid, I think, as well as an adult.
Yeah.
And you don't have to do it in our Luxe Sparkle vinyl. I have some samples here that our colleague Alex stitched out in fabric.
Oh, look at this is very cool. I really like the variegated. Oh, I've never seen variegated thread used like this.
Isn't that fun?
In a satin
That
stitch.
is so wild. I love that.
Yeah, that looks amazing. So I think the concept was prints and solids. That's
And
fun.
then to get the same rigidity that you see in the vinyl, for the fabric pieces, you would want to use a couple of layers of staple stick cutaway, as well as fusible woven, and then fiber form. And that's going to give you that rigidity for the pieces to stand up and look really nice.
Okay, so these don't have fiber form.
Those do not have fiber form. They are just the vinyl, and the vinyl has enough body that you don't need to add the fiber form. And I always think of fiber form as like almost like a sewable cardboard.
Yeah.
It's really, really easy. And you notice too, if I hold these up, having the staple stick and the fiber form with that fabric, like you're not adding any more width to the pieces. It just behaves so nicely.
Yeah, these are great.
I
They
love
would
that.
just be pretty to display even. I mean, obviously you have the whole board, but just having these alone is really cool.
The final thing I want to mention about this chessboard is you see that, of course, we have a chessboard here, and you might be thinking like, I don't really want to sew one block at a time. But the digitizers have come up with something really clever, which is doing 4 at a time. So you are going to make your board in sections as opposed to each block individually.
Okay.
Makes it super, super fast.
Yeah.
And then it's just a zigzag stitch joining the pieces together.
Nice. Yeah, you can't even see the seams. It's great.
I know, I love it. Love it, love it, love it. Now we're going to move on to our mini alphabet. I think that's so cool.
Yeah, it's very, very fun. So many ways to customize whatever it is you're making. I love our colleague Alex made this one. It's a little t-shirt and it says honey.
I love that.
Yeah, we had a lot of fun coming up with what to put on these because you really can put anything you want.
Yeah. For something like quilting and cottons, I would put fusible woven on the back just to give it a little bit of extra body. And with the t-shirt, I'm thinking, I know Dime's got their perfect placement tool, and we also have template sheets to really kind of help with that.
Yep.
And we have the whole alphabet, so I'm just going to put these on top. Aren't these fun?
They're so fun. You see a lot of people online selling sweatshirts and t-shirts with custom, and then you can make it yourself.
You
don't
can
have
do anything.
to.
I mean, coming from a quilting background, I would totally use this for my quilt labels.
Oh yeah.
Because it's sort of a smaller collection with still maybe almost like a collegiate feel almost.
Yeah.
I think it would be great for like a quilt label for the back of a high school.
Oh yeah,
That
that
like
would
a
be
high school graduation gift.
Yeah, that would be really sweet.
That is so fun. So that is just our mini alphabet.
Yep.
Next, I'm really excited about this. We are going to show our Leafy Applique quilt by K Facet. If you're a K Facet fan, I know you're going to love this.
Yeah, and if you're new,
so excited.
If you're new to the world of CAFE, I think this is a great introduction with
It is.
the fabric and the design. It's
We've got these
gorgeous.
beautiful appliques, and I think we should hold this up here in just a moment.
Yeah.
But So fun, and you can totally use K fabric, or you don't have to if you're not a K fan. And we have something that I'll show in a minute, but maybe we should show the quilt
Yeah,
first.
let's hold this
do
up.
that.
Wow.
Isn't that fun?
It is stunning.
There are so many blocks in this. There are, not only do you see, like, for example, this one right here, but you have a mirrored image of it so that you can really customize, mix and match which blocks you want to use for your project.
Okay.
It doesn't have to be exactly like this, for example.
Yeah.
If you were to do the quilt, but I have some samples if you didn't want to do the whole quilt, or if you didn't want to do K fabric.
Yeah, let's see.
Oh, isn't it beautiful?
It's beautiful.
So gorgeous.
And I want you to tell me about how this is
How
done.
to do the applique.
Yes.
So this is using applique,
Yes.
machine embroidery applique. And we have two different products that we could use for that so that it's going to make it really easy. You don't have to decide the placement of where each flower goes, each
Yeah.
petal. So we have that in the machine. The machine will do it and figure it out for you.
Okay.
It'll do a placement line so that you can put exactly the petal where that petal goes.
Okay. And you're using not soft web, but what would you use?
You could use soft web, and that's one of our applique products. In this case, for me, I used applique Fuse and Fix because it is repositionable. Soft web is awesome and amazing stuff, and it gives a really nice sort of light, flowy feel. But what I like about applique Fuse and Fix is that it's actually repositionable. So if you put it down and you're kind of slightly off, you can peel it back up, put it where you want to. With soft web, once you iron it in place, it is in place.
Okay.
Both great products. So here, let me show you. If you didn't want to use K fabrics, this is a cute little zippered pouch that our colleague Rachel made, and she was just using this really nice sort of shot cotton look.
Yeah.
So you could see you don't have to do the actual cave.
Yeah. I really like this pouch, and it's cool to use the block in a. I wouldn't think to use a block for something this shape because it doesn't feel like it's the right shape, but it's very cool that it's just folded.
Very thinking outside the box of Rachel.
Yes. So we will be seeing more of Cave.
Yes, we will see more of Cave, and we are actually going to do a stitch along featuring the Leafy Applique quilt by K Facet.
Very
and
exciting.
showing different sort of how to do the block, but then also showing different inspiration for how you could use this collection.
Nice. I'm really excited for that.
I am too.
Stay tuned on the channel.
So that is our Leafy Applique quilt by K Facet. Next we have Little Darlings by Ruby Star Society. I love this collection.
They're so cute. I'm going to just start laying them out so we can see. There's a lot of pieces, lots of designs in all of this, and we had so much fun stitching these out. I taught someone how to make something.
Yay! That's so exciting.
So it was her first project, and it was a nice, easy win for your first time. And also we got to make, well, this is what we made, and then we tried it on some Luxe Sparkle vinyl, and
Fun.
I wasn't sure how it would turn out, but it was actually, it's beautiful.
I think of this as a choose your own adventure patch kit. So you don't have to use them as patches, but in this collection, we have a base, and then you could choose whatever you want to go on top of that.
Yeah.
I am really excited about this.
Yes, there are truly so many designs. I'm still putting them out.
I know, right? The scissors, the
Yeah.
flower, the berry,
The berry's very cute, the strawberry.
and the cherry. Sorry, I'm holding an apple.
Yeah, that's an apple, yeah. And
Not
if
a
you're
cherry.
familiar with Ruby Star Society and their fabrics, you will recognize a lot of these motifs.
Yes. I was going to say, keep your eye for these ones because I think we're going to see a repeat of them in a little bit. When we do patches, we like to use 2 layers of Badge Master as well as Stable Stick and 2 layers of Stable Stick that are underneath this.
Okay.
So that's going to give it that stability and body when you go to stitch something out, and you're not going to get puckering or any problems like if you wanted to do this apple, cherry, berry right on top of the patch without having it have a problem.
Yeah.
I love
cool.
these.
Yeah, they're
so
so
fun.
There's a lot of variety in size too. There's some that are quite small and then a few that are a lot bigger. So depending on how you want to accessorize. Yep.
I love that. And I like the chunky look of it.
Yes.
It gives it a hand stitch feel.
It does. And we don't like to do things by hand, but this looks
yeah.
like you did.
Yes.
But you didn't.
Oh, yeah. No. I don't have the patience to do things by hand. That's why I love my machine. Next, we have our canning jar applique. Very fun. So,
already loving what I'm seeing. It's so fun to see all of is this novelty fabric? Is that what
that
this would
is
be?
novelty fabric.
Yeah, seeing the novelty fabric used in this way is so cool. I see this at the fabric store and I never know what to do with it, but I want it. So finally I can use my stash.
And we have 5 different jars. So you can mix and match in your project, or you can use one. I have a few samples to show. One of the things that I really like is that our clear vinyl is machine washable, and you can iron it.
Okay.
And it's not easily perforated, so it's really easy to work with. It's just when you iron, you want a kind of a medium iron and let it cool before you start sewing with it. But what if you didn't want to use the vinyl? Our colleague Carrie made this collection using organza.
Ah, okay, that's what that is. This is really nice, and this is a table runner.
Yeah, is that cute? Or you could even do it as a wall hanging.
Oh yes, this is really nice. And still using some like novelty-ish fabric. I don't know, but this is Ruby Star fabric, isn't it?
I think so. At least that one is for sure.
Yes, yes, these are really nice. This is beautiful, and the binding's great.
I know, isn't that fun? Yep. And then Rachel made one, and she was using up her stash fabric.
Yes. She's the one that told me that people have a lot of this novelty fabric. This is so nice. I love it. So she told me that this is kind of like the wallpaper, and then we have the shelves. So it looks like a pantry.
Isn't that fun?
Yeah, I love that.
The Cheetos, Cheez-Its.
Yeah,
the Cheez-Its crack me up.
Yeah, that's funny. I love the pickles. I'm a pickle girl.
Are you a pickle? Yeah, my husband would love that.
Yeah. Yeah, this is really nice.
So that is Canning Jars Applique. Next we have up our citrus coasters. Are you ready for summer?
Yeah, this is
You're really going to be ready for summer now.
Ultimate summer vibes here.
We have our grapefruit and our lime, our orange and our lemon.
These are so cool.
They are the cutest.
Yep.
I can't stop touching them.
I know.
Actually, they're so fun.
Yeah.
So the digitizers, when I was talking to them, they were saying that there aren't actually that many thread changes in this, but they used stitching density to give it the sort of look of an actual piece of fruit.
Yeah, there's a lot of depth in these. It just, when we were photographing these for the site, we actually got real fruit to take the pictures with, and there's some pictures you can't really tell what's real and what's not. I mean, they're
amazing.
Very realistic.
They are so well done. And of course, to do this, we would definitely use In the Hoop Badge Master and Aqua Mesh, because it is actually a patch.
Yeah.
It just is a patch with a nice backing that you can use as a coaster.
Beautiful.
So fun. So those are our citrus coasters. Next, we have our Little Darlings Quilting by Ruby Star Society, and this was so much fun.
This was fun.
I did this on dark fabric just to give you an idea of what it would actually look like stitched out on a quilt.
Yeah.
But what do we have?
We have so many fun designs. These would be so cool if you made a bag. I mean, if you don't have a long arm, but you still want the look. We actually do also have these in long arms with our sister company.
We sure do. So if that was something that if you happen to have a long arm, if you go to our website, OESD.com, there's actually a little icon that you can press to go over to the long arm side. But if you're like me and you don't have a long arm, I can get that feel with these designs. I was having so much fun. I was just petting this because it has such a nice feel. If you wanted to use fusion fleece, you could give it even a little bit more of a trapunto feel.
Yeah. What did you use this? Like, what's here?
What's here? So I just have front fabric and back fabric. You can see the jump stitches haven't been trimmed. And then I just serged the ends. Inside, there's no stabilizer. It's just batting.
Okay.
So that's it. It's a quilt sandwich.
Quilt sandwich right on in the hoop.
In the hoop.
Nice.
And makes it so easy.
You hoop all of those things together.
Yes.
Okay.
And then when we were talking about this in the office, because of course, you know, we all had to feel, because you have to feel. When we were talking about this, you know how you have the all the rage right now of the quilted clothing, you know?
Oh,
you
yes.
had on, just the other day actually, you had on a quilted jacket.
Yes.
And I was looking at this, I think I would want to do
make a
this, and
quilted
that's
jacket.
my whole entire quilted jacket are just these
Yes.
octopus.
Yes. They're so cute.
But I love every single design in this collection. I think I had these roller skates in 1982. I'm not going to lie. So that is Little Darlings Quilting by Ruby Star Society. Next we have Spring Garden by Tatiana Starikova Harris. So cute.
They're adorable. If you love birds and florals, birds
This
and
is-
florals together.
This is yours. This is definitely your collection. And if you like this look and you do that search function that I mentioned before, you can find lots of her designs.
Amazing. So this is our Spree exclusive. So if you join Spree Club, this is yours.
Automatically.
I love all of these. And I love that you can use these to frame the birds.
Yes. Here come the birds. So here's our plant life, and now we have our bird life. And these birds have so much character.
They're so cute.
They are adorable.
I love the shading, like all of the different colors and how they blend together, like the belly of this bird right here. It looks realistic. Obviously it's art, but it just makes it not feel fake. It makes it look
Yeah.
real. I don't know.
They're so fun. So in this collection, you can use them as one whole collection, or it's great if you just want to use them as standalone. So this is, Alex made another shirt, and I just love that because it's so sweet.
That's adorable.
Just a really sweet little shirt. And then I actually have a daughter who's a bird watcher. It's one of her favorite things. So I thought, wouldn't it be fun to give her a journal for all of her bird watching expeditions?
That's really kind. This is so cool.
Yeah.
I mean, I was admiring this when we walked in. It's very beautifully made. You did a
Thank
great
you.
job.
I use the mini alphabet for birding. And then I actually use King Star metallic thread because I wanted to play with it, and it stitches out so easily and so beautiful. I had no problems whatsoever. This is the same bird, and again, I just switched out this green thread for the metallic.
Okay.
Super, super easy.
Yeah, that's a great way to show just how changing the thread can make it look a little different.
Yep, or your background fabric,
Yeah.
right? Because these are the same colors,
Oh,
but it's a little
interesting.
different looking
is.
on the green fabric than on the white.
It is.
Isn't that fun?
Yeah, this is great.
I love this. So that was our first Spree exclusive, Spring Garden. Now we're going to go on to our second Spree exclusive, and this is our jumbo design, and it is so fun. Here is the design, and then Alex made it. It is called our Jumbo Primitive Patriotic Applique.
I love seeing the different, I mean, again, with changing out the colors, I love seeing how different everything looks because I'm personally drawn to this.
Yeah.
And I wasn't sure about the design, and then I saw this and I was like, oh,
Yeah,
I really like it.
You've got like a shot cotton here and you have a solid here. Even that gives it a different look. This is also applique, and I want to just take a moment because we mentioned applique with the K Facet quilt, the leafy applique by K Facet. The fun thing is that for a lot of our applique, I would say for most of our applique, we have 2 rows of stitching that go around. So you do your placement stitch, then you place your fabric, and then we typically have 2 rows that go around, and one is called the tack down stitch, and the other one is the cut line. We don't have that with this. So this is something where you really want to have a pre-cut applique because this is a blanket stitch. If we were to have those 2 rows of the tack down and the cut line, you would actually see them through the blanket stitch. So this is one of those collections that if you choose to do it, you definitely want to pre-cut on either soft web or applique fuse and fix.
Okay.
So that you can make sure that you have the look that you want. I would not recommend doing cut in place unless that's the look that you're going for. If you had the cut in place with the blanket stitch, it would kind of give it like a
Like a frayed
look.
edge.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
This is really cool because, the blanket stitch is another hand typically
Yeah.
hand technique,
Yeah.
and you can kind of trick people into thinking that you
Right?
sat here
Because
for
you don't want
hours.
to sit there for hours. I don't have that patience.
Oh, believe me, I've done it. It's not great.
No. I love this. So this is our Jumbo Patriotic Applique and a Spree exclusive.
Yes. Now, if I'm looking for Spree, if I saw these designs and I have to have them, can you
Yes.
tell me how I can get them?
Yes, you're going to go to our website, which is oesd.com. You can /Spree, or you could probably just look at the bottom of the screen. It will have the web address there. If you go there, you can sign up, and I think it's $59.99 every month, and you get everything in this collection. You do the canning jars, and maybe you do little darlings, you're already above $59.99 and become
get
a
all of
member
it.
of Spree Club and get everything we put out for the entire month. Make sure that you join the Perfect Stitch by OESD on our Facebook page. You're gonna get lots of inspiration there, as well as tips and tricks. It is so fun. It's the happiest place on Facebook.
It is. And also, we just took some, we took some photos and we put them in the Perfect Stitch and said, what's your summer vibe? Because we were looking for some designs maybe for this summer. So your guys' input on the Facebook page actually did help shape one of our upcoming designs. So that's really exciting.
That is awesome. That's great. I love that.
Yep.
And then, do we want to like and subscribe?
Yes, make sure that you make sure you like and subscribe to this channel so you don't miss any updates. And comment below what your favorite item from this set was, because there's a lot of good stuff.
Yes, absolutely. Well, thank you.
Yeah, thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching. Happy stitching.